We back with some more reactions. I got the Bic in hand. Let's see what we cooking.
I am so effing tired of the amount of emotional labor that comes with dating Black men. I am so tired of the lack of commitment, the lack of support, the lack of encouragement, the lack of money. Like, I don't know what to do from this point on, but I can tell you one thing. My interest in dating another Black man is like 1% at this point. They want us to be ride or dies until they get their shit together. And then they don't want to support us in return. They don't want to commit to us. They don't want to marry us. But then they want all the benefits of being a husband without actually proposing to us. I need someone who's intentional in every single aspect.
I do want to first start off by believing that I hear where she's coming from. It's clearly a lot of frustration. She's potentially dealt with a lot of, I don't even know how to really put this other than just some really rough cats out here, not being emotionally available or stable, no commitment. Okay. Lack of commitment, wanting all the benefits of a husband, but not wanting to actually step into that space of covenant. She mentioned lack of money. She mentioned all these different things. A lot of frustration. I don't know this lady. I've heard a lot of thoughts like this across social media and even people I've encountered. I think here's some questions that I would love for someone of this caliber to consider that may potentially give some clarity as to not just locating where they are, but also being able to move forward in the dating process and ultimately finding the man that they would marry. She does do this, okay? Her chances of dating another Black man is 1%. What I feel is at stake here is a generalization that we really don't want to do for the sake of being mindful and understanding that even though this is my experience with a certain type of guy, or for her case, right, or for guys, certain type of girl, right, this isn't a generalization where we can just turn it into all Black men or all Black women or all this and all that. I think that does us a very great injustice, disservice in our process of dating and courting and trying to understand who we're choosing to commit our lives to. My question is, what about the Black men that maybe she's dated? What about the specific type of individual that you are dating has you attracted to them? Why are you attracted to that type? I think that would say and reveal a lot. My next question, what is it in you potentially that attracts that type of individual? If you're finding yourself attracting a certain type of individual that you're now looking at and going, this isn't it and this isn't for me, I want you to be curious as to what kind of attitude and character are you moving in that seems to give this type of individual room to feel that they can just come into your life. What does that look like? I want you to consider that. Because if you are somebody who has set the temperature of your life and of your decisions to be one that is nonchalant, not caring, very sneaky, right, deceitful and dishonest behavior, it's possible that you're going to potentially attract individuals who are of the similar movement. Just like on the opposite end, if you are someone who cares to move in principle, move in truth, move in character, move in integrity, you choose to honor God with your life, you choose to love others, be kind to others, be compassionate to others, you care about the mindset and the way others think, not only are you going to make room for those same type of people in your life, but you're also going to weed out the people who don't move like that. Setting your temperature makes room for people who match that energy and weeds out the people who don't move like that. And you'll see the difference. So my question to somebody who is in this position is, what temperature are you setting for the daily life and attitude, character and integrity, the way you live your life on a day-to-day basis? What's your temperature at? Can you locate yourself in that space? Is there a way that you're living, a way that you're carrying yourself, a way that you are expressing yourself, whether through social media, in person, on the dating apps, wherever and however you're dating and courting people these days? Is there a way that you're expressing yourself that would seem to attract the type of person that isn't looking to commit, that is looking to spit game and riz you up, but isn't coming correct at all, isn't coming with intention at all? How you present yourself, your standards, all those things matter, because again, it sets the temperature. Not everybody is going to be flooding your DMs and coming through. That's not a bad thing. Not everybody is going to feel like they can shoot their shot because they can tell by how you carry yourself, the demeanor in which you walk and in which you express yourself to others. Like, yo, yeah, she bad, but her character, her integrity, I can see what's most important to her. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm not even there yet. I'm trying to still do my thing and slip and slide and all that good stuff, right? No, I can tell he's definitely a different type of dude. I'm trying to chill out on all that. And they keep it moving. And it's your standard, it's your character that's been on display that weeded out the people that you don't even need to really be bothered with. What makes you attracted to the individuals that are matching such descriptions as she laid out? Or even worse, what is it in you that's attracting and making room for that individual? Where's your temperature at? I'm not really looking to try and get you to lower standards and say your standards are too high, your expectations are too high. I'm not getting into all that. What I will say is I think the standards and expectations that we ought to carry towards the people that we are considering to invest our time and attention to build some kind of relationship romantically and pursue marriage, I think that all needs to be depicted on a standard that is greater than us, and that is God. And so this is kind of the whole circle that I'm trying to get us to really consider. Instead of making it about finding a black man and a black king, which again, I'm not saying that's all she's making it about. I just want to make that clear. I don't know this girl. Just saw the TikTok. These are just my thoughts. We don't want to make it about finding a black guy or finding a black woman or finding a black king, queen, or whatever race we want to throw in the mix. I think what needs to hold precedence over one's race is their belief and allegiance in God. Before I focus on the race, which is more than likely a preference, what's mandatory when it comes to the standard, when it comes to the individual that I want to create a life with, I want to be sure that this person is someone who's after the heart of God. So before I'm looking at the race, are you a man of God? Are you a woman of God? Right? So I'm looking for a woman of God first and foremost. That's the most important thing. Ladies, look for a man of God. That's the most important thing, because here's the thing. When you look at that from that perspective, you'll learn that like, oh, I'm looking for somebody who is going to honor me and love me like God loves me. I'm looking for somebody who is going to reflect God in every way. If he's a man of God, and this individual is going to desire to be the priest, provider, and protector of the home that he eventually wants to create. This individual who's a man of God is going to desire to honor you, respect you, have emotional stability, be available, and be present. This man of God is going to desire commitment, because this man of God also understands the power of commitment and covenant, because he's connected to the creator of such, being God. He values God's principles and standards, God's word and say on relationships and connections with people. He values those things. So it's not going to be so difficult to find an individual in that lane if I, one, focus my attention on God's standards and God's rule of thumb and say on relationships. So we're reprioritizing things here. God, I want the man that you desire for me to have. For the ladies, men, God, I want the woman you desire for me to have. God, I desire to pursue somebody who wants your heart, who desires you, who deems you to be the most important to their lives. Now we're all making the adjustments as we're going through our dating course, as we're looking to figure out who we're trying to choose. I'm coming back to the text. So instead of, well, if is he black? Is he white? Is he this, that, and the third? Again, that's preference, and that's cool if you have a preference. We're all for that. We all do. But we want to make sure, first and foremost, that this individual has a heart for God. Because now I'm coming back to the text as I'm looking at my preferences, and as I'm looking at what I have like for and what I desire and who I would choose. Right? I'm coming back to the text. Well, does this person have fruit in their life? How does this person treat people they don't need? How does this person respond when being told no? Is this man self-controlled, submitted to God, honors God with his life, not just his words? What is it that other people have to say about him? Does he examine the fruit of the Spirit? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, meekness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. Looking for fruit in his life. Same for the men to the women. Man, does she have a heart for Jesus? Is she submitted to God? You can look at Proverbs 31 and be like, okay, can see a little bit of that there. Does she carry the fruit of the Spirit? All these different measurements that we can use that are all determined, watch this, y'all, by biblical standards and principles. That's what sets the difference. So I think a lot of individuals can feel what this young lady is feeling and might be able to reflect and be where she is or where she was. I have questions on the standards. I have questions on what exactly are we looking for, why we're looking for it, and in terms of the struggles that we have endured up to this point in the dating culture and the dating process, be slow to generalize everybody in that same category. I know that a lot of individuals have hurt you or have let you down and disappointed you who would fit that description of being a black man or whatever other race you want to throw in there. But it's not fair to generalize all black men, all white men, all in that same category. It's just potentially the ones that you've dealt with. And so I think the question, again, not to cook, not to do anything, not to tell you you're terrible at making decisions and you can't nope, not coming with that energy. Don't hear that. I just want you to consider, because I want you to be in a place of living happy, healthy, whole biblical relationships. And where that begins is making sure that I'm pursuing the heart of God. That's where all that starts, because then things will start to unfold and make sense. Now I'm aligned in right perspective, right standard, right judgment to be able to say, yo, I'm looking for somebody who has the heart of Jesus, who has the capacity to provide, protect, and be the priest of his home, who exhibits self-control, fruit of the spirit, who exhibits wisdom with his words, thinking, and actions, who considers me, is thoughtful and mindful of me. Right? I'm looking for all these things. That's biblical standards, all right there. And so it makes it easier in the process. And in the process, you're going to feel potentially, if it's your first time ever considering such, that, yo, it just doesn't seem like a whole lot more is available. Dang, the pool is small. Hey, I got to encourage you. It is better to have a few good choices than a variety of bad choices. It's a lot of people out here in this dating culture that feel that they got it like that because they got a variety of choices. I got hoes calling. You know, everybody feel like they dope. But you got a lot of bad choices in your phone, champ. You got a lot of people who you wouldn't dare bring home to your mama. You wouldn't dare. All attention isn't good attention. And because of the character, integrity, and standard that I have determined I desire to live my life by, I know that it weeds out a lot of people. It's a lot of people that might potentially have interest. I don't know, though, because they don't shoot their shot. You want to know why? Because they're intimidated by the way that I'm living my life in a way that pleases God, because they're looking at what I care about most. And they can already tell, ooh, he care a lot about that Jesus thing. So, okay. Setting the temperature and really being willing to just be curious. Don't judge yourself. Be curious. What am I expecting? What are the standards that I have set for the man or woman that I desire in my life? Does it reflect the principles and standards that God has laid out to us biblically? Does it make sense? Or am I really moving by social media standards? That's why I'm just so disappointed, because I'm taking what the world is trying to tell me is appeasing and I'm being broken every time. And I'm not really setting myself up for the best success possible. I want you to get into the habit of seeking the approval of God by pursuing the heart of God and getting to know what God says on relationships in order to navigate properly. It's the cheat code, Joe. I'm trying to put you on game. It's the cheat code. It's the cheat code. What makes you attracted to them? Why are you attracted to them? Is there anything in you that's potentially making room for them to feel they can approach you and move forward with things? And are you seeking God for clarity on your relationship? Because I'm telling you, he won't let you down. You might go through some dry seasons. You might have to spend some time with God and learning what you like, what you don't like, learning interests, all those kinds of things. Ain't nothing wrong with preferences. Everybody got them. I just want you to prioritize seeking God first, because not only will that set your temperature in the character you choose to walk in every day, but it will also in turn weed out potential candidates you may have entertained before, because they're seeing how you move and they're like, nah, I can't even handle that. Because see, as a woman of God, as a man of God, your version of real is different. So can't everybody kick it with you. And that's where it is. So that's something I want you to consider as you are moving and journeying along through your dating process. Remain patient, all of that good stuff. There's so much more content that we're going to be pouring out here regarding dating, regarding relationships, and just getting better understanding on how to navigate through these things as believers, but more importantly, from the biblical worldview to build happy, healthy, whole, and biblical, emphasis on biblical relationships. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in for this reaction. Definitely leave a comment below for any videos you would like for me to react to. Reach me at my socials in the description below, and we'll keep this thing going. All right. So from your boy, I appreciate you oh so much. And until our next conversation, be easy and be breezy, my friend. Peace.